Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're diving into one of the most epic and dramatic stories from the Bible, the tale of Samson and Delilah. This isn't just an old story, it's a blockbuster filled with superhuman strength, love, betrayal, and a spectacular, explosive ending. So, grab your popcorn, and let's get into it. Our story begins with a promise. Before Samson was even born, an angel appeared to his parents and told them their son would be a Nazirite, a person dedicated to God from birth. This came with a few rules, but the most important one was this: he could never, ever cut his hair. As long as he kept this vow, God would grant him incredible, superhuman strength. And boy, did he get it! Samson grew up to be the champion of the Israelites, who were under the thumb of the Philistines at the time. His feats were legendary. We're talking about tearing a lion apart with his bare hands. We're talking about defeating 1,000 Philistine soldiers using only the jawbone of a donkey. Can you even imagine that? Samson was like a real-life superhero, a one-man army who struck fear into the hearts of his enemies. The Philistines were desperate to find a way to defeat him, but his power seemed unstoppable. They just couldn't figure out the source of his incredible might. And this is where our story takes a dramatic turn. Enter Delilah. The Philistine leader saw Samson's deep affection for her and came up with a plan. They went to Delilah and made her an offer she couldn't refuse, a massive amount of silver if she could discover the secret to Samson's strength. This was a fortune, and the temptation was too great. So, Delilah began her mission. 3 times she asked Samson for his secret, and 3 times he lied to her, giving her fake answers. Each time, she would try to use his secret against him, calling in the Philistine soldiers, only to watch in frustration as he easily broke free. He told her to tie him with 7 fresh bowstrings, then with new ropes, and then to weave his hair into a loom. Each time, he snapped the bonds like they were threads, but Delilah was persistent. She pressed him day after day, nagging him and wearing him down emotionally. She accused him of not truly loving her if he couldn't share his deepest secret. Finally, exhausted and heartbroken, Samson gave in. He told her everything. He confessed that he was a Nazirite, dedicated to God from birth, and that his strength was tied to his long, uncut hair. If it were shaved, he would become as weak as any other man. Delilah knew this was the truth. That night, as Samson slept on her lap, she called in a man to shave off the 7 locks of his hair. When she cried out, "The Philistines are upon you, Samson!" He awoke, expecting to fight them off as he always did. But this time, it was different. He tried to flex his power, but it was gone. The Lord had left him. The Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and threw him in prison, forcing him to grind grain like an animal. The once mighty hero was now a broken, blind slave. But the story doesn't end there. As Samson toiled in prison, his hair began to grow back. The Philistines, meanwhile, decided to throw a massive party to celebrate their victory, praising their God for delivering Samson into their hands. They brought the blind Samson into their temple to be mocked and ridiculed by thousands of people. Standing between the 2 main pillars that supported the entire temple, Samson prayed a final, desperate prayer to God. He asked for his strength back just one more time, to avenge himself for his 2 eyes. With a renewed surge of power, he placed one hand on each pillar and pushed with all his might. The pillars cracked, the temple collapsed, and Samson brought the whole structure down, defeating more of his enemies in his death than he ever did in his life. It's a powerful and tragic story about strength, weakness, love, and betrayal. It reminds us that our greatest strengths can also be tied to our greatest vulnerabilities. What do you think is the biggest lesson from Samson's life? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic stories. See you next time.